Hello everybody, what's up? Today is another tip video. This one's a little special because this one is for the Google car, as you can see right here. So this is a Google Maps Street View car. So here's the camera and then here's the thing, and yeah, but not all Google cars in different places are the same, because I'm pretty sure Google uses private vendors, so they'll hire someone from like the Philippines to do it there. They have like a dispatch unit or something, I think. But anyways, the cars in different places are different, and a lot of GeoGuessr players use this to their advantage, and it is called the car meta. So this is a GeoGuesser's guide to the car meta. Here is the map that I made that has every single car meta that I could think of. I'm probably missing some, and also just this doesn't include any of antennas. It has some, but not all of them. So if you want to know antenna meta, then go watch like a GeoPeter video or something, I don't know. But these are all the car metas that I use. Anyway, so here I'll publish it, and I'll put the link to it if you want to practice it. Did it publish? Yes. Okay. So here we go. I will start off with the more common and identifiable ones in the biggest places, and then go down to the more niche ones. Alright, let's start with one of the most famous ones. So, or not famous, but this is a good one to start off with, is the Guatemala car. So, this is the Guatemala car. As you can see, there is a roof rack with two bars that go all the way across, like this. And also, there are two unblurred side mirrors. So if you see this, and it looks like Latin America-ish, then it's probably Guatemala. But Guatemala doesn't just have this car. There are other places that have it, or similar versions. For example, in Senegal, you get these bars that go all the way across both sides. But in Senegal, however, you do not get unblurred side mirrors. So if it looks kind of African and you have these bars, you're probably in Senegal, combined with the fact that there's a rift in the sky. In Kyrgyzstan, this is the car. So two unblurred side mirrors, but these ones are more square than the Guatemala ones, and two bars that go all the way across as well. And there's no rift or anything. It kind of looks like this. So that's Kyrgyzstan. It also is in Kyrgyzstan. Okay, so let's go here. You also get two unblurred mirrors and two bars. Now this is a car that you can sometimes get in Abuja and other places as well, with these like black and yellow stripes on the bars. But you can also get other cars. For example, in Lagos, or Lagos, I don't know how to correctly say it exactly, you don't get anything. So if you see that, it's Nigeria, but if you don't, then, you know, I don't know. So let's see. You can also get, yeah, you get this one in Abuja, Ibadan, and yes, that's it. Réunion is an island. It kind of looks like this, very, I don't know how to describe it, but the car for Réunion has two unblurred side mirrors plus this bit here, and then two bars. Now there's also a bit of tape on the passenger back, but that's kind of, I don't know. It's, you don't really use that one a bunch in this place, because you have these side strips here, and also the sun is in the north. So let's go to Ghana. So this is one of the most famous cars, I would say. In the front, you get this unblurred Google Street View logo, kind of like this. Shoot. But you also get bars. However, on the passenger front side, you get this black tape, and this is like very famous in GeoGuessr. In the GeoGuessr community, this piece of black tape. Yeah, so if you see that, we're in Ghana. And make sure the passenger front, not the passenger back, because that's Réunion. Also, the two landscapes look very different. How about Faroe Islands? So the Faroe Islands are an archipelago of islands in the middle of nowhere, kind of. They look like this, a lot like Iceland. However, you get this, which is 2 bars. You have like a 3rd bar here, and then also 2 unblurred side mirrors in the Faroe Islands. So that's a good way to separate Faroe Islands and Iceland, because Iceland does not have these racks. So Kenya has a very distinct car, just like Ghana, sort of. That's what makes Africa like really easy to guess in. But you get this little thing right here. People call it a snorkel. So snorkel, it's basically, it looks like a snorkel. Who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe Kenya is all underwater. Maybe it's a conspiracy. Probably not though. But you get bars as well. So these roof racks, and then also this snorkel. Now be careful, because you can get this snorkel in Mongolia too. I'll go over the Mongolia car in a second. But number one, they look very different, but also there's just bars and the snorkel, and remember that. Because in Mongolia, you get bars, sometimes you can get a snorkel. I don't think there's a snorkel here, but you get like this, you get another set of bars, you have this pack here, basically everything. It's very busy, and I don't blame them, because Mongolia is very, very rural, and you kind of need like tents to live, because there's no houses to stay in, I suppose. But I mean, there's like no hospital anywhere, so you gotta have like a mobile hospital. I don't know. The Mongolia car has a lot of stuff on it. So there's a country called Laos, I don't know. And there's basically 5 locations that has official coverage. So there's a few over here along the border with Thailand, and then one up here, and then also in the capital, Vientiane. So you can get bars and side mirrors in this city, like this. It looks a lot like the Guatemala car. In Luang Prabang, I don't know, something like that. Can you get bars in this city? Yes, you can also get bars in this city with the not handlebars. No, these are bars. These are mirrors. Yeah. The other 3 places don't have this. So like in the capital, you don't get any car. Meta, like this. See? So staying in this region, let's go to the south part of the Philippines. Over here. Now in the Philippines, there's usually no car meta, but in this very far south bit, like along this road, an area, you do get a car, which looks a lot like the Réunion car, but without the tape. So these bars, and then unblurred handlebars, and then also this little bit here. So it just looks very Philippines, but it is in the far south with that car. Alright, so in the Kruger National Park, which is in the far northeast of the country, I think bordering Mozambique, yes. You get this car, so it's like camouflage, sometimes that can be unblurred. These side mirrors, unblurred side mirrors, and then also, of course, the roof rack, the 2 bars. So South Africa usually doesn't have that. Also usually doesn't have Gen 3, but that's one of the only places that has Gen 3. Also around here can have Gen 3 sometimes. Bangladesh, you get these. So roof rack, and then 2 unblurred side mirrors that are red, and then also this colorful side bit right there. And that is in Bangladesh. They also drive on the left in Bangladesh, so that can be helpful. And they have this, I forget what this language is called, but they use that in, I think, Bhutan as well. I'll do these islands right now. There are some other islands that I'll go over later, but let's go over the Dominican Republic. So in the Dominican Republic, you get this roof rack again. It's a very common variant with the Google cars. But in the middle of the actual bars, you get this black. It's like painted black in the middle, or black plastic. And then also the front of the car is kind of more unblurred. than other ones. So it looks very like Central South American, but then you have this strip right here. Okay, so those are all the bar ones for now. Some of the other islands, these tiny islands over here, I'll go over later. If you're confused, don't worry, I got you. Alright, so let's move to South America. A lot of South American can look pretty similar, but there are ways to separate out the countries. For example, in these 4 countries, the blurred part of the car are different colors. So in Peru, there's tiny unblurred part, and this blurred part is black. So you have this black end of the car. On the front you don't see it, but on the back it's like this strip of unblurredness. So you get the black car in Peru. Argentina, so sometimes it can look like this, where it's not blurred, or where it's moved. Sometimes you can't see it, like right here you can't see it at all, but here you can see it. Yeah, it looks like that. Sometimes you can get the unblurred thing like in Peru, but it's black. And then in Chile you get a white car, so like this. There's a black bit here, but the end bit is white, and then also the front bit here. Or maybe that they are the same, it's just bad image stitching. But anyways, it's this white one. So black, white. And then in Uruguay you get a black one, just like in Argentina and Peru. Like that. Okay, so just to recap, Peru, Argentina, and Uruguay have black, unblurred parts of the car, and in Chile, it's white. Now, a good way to remember this is in these countries here, you can get a double yellow line, or not there either. Okay, these were bad examples. Or here we go, a double yellow line. But in Chile, you almost never get it. It's pretty much always white lines, especially in this northern part. Down here, you sometimes can get it in this very snowy regions. Okay, also in Bolivia, you can get a mixture of the white and the black cars. But that's like the car meta, general car meta for the South America. You can kind of separate out Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil by the looks if you're skilled enough. A lot of people aren't there though. It's very difficult. RC is very good at South America. But then as you get further south, a lot of this can look very similar, so there's these car metas. So there's not a whole lot of car metas in Europe. I'll go over the basic ones that I use. There are antenna metas, but like I said, I'm not doing antenna metas in this video because I don't know them. I don't think that they're super helpful. But if you don't want to do it, there's probably a GeoPeter video or something. Okay, so in Switzerland, I think I've gone over this before, but there's a low cam, so the camera's lower. And same thing in Japan. So Switzerland, low cam, as you can see, the camera is like much lower than everything else. This blur is closer. Okay, so I did Faroe Islands, they have the bars, and then in Iceland, I know I said I wouldn't do antennas, but some of them can be kind of helpful. You get a long antenna in the back, and then this little red unblurred thing. Or blurred thing. So in addition to the Icelandic looking landscape and these yellow bollards, you get that. As opposed to in Faroe Islands, which look very similar, you do not. And then you also get the car meta. Okay, in Ukraine, you get this red blurred part of the car. Sometimes you can't get it. I mean, there are parts in Ukraine where it's not present, but a lot of times it is in this very thick blurred part. It just, the car must be red or something. So if you get landscape like this and you're like, damn, this could be Romania, Bulgaria, Russia, any Baltic, literally any country in the world, but you see this red bit, probably Ukraine. Plus the long antenna, I think, is in Ukraine. But like I said, I'm not good with antenna meta. Alright, now staying on the red cars, you can get this sometimes in Finland. However, in Finland you can get like this red and then this blue kind of greenish. Sometimes in cities you can see the car reflection in windows and it is red. It is a red car in some cities. But Finland has Gen 2, so Gen 2 camera's not extremely good at like blurring things. You also sometimes get this weird patch and then like this halo, this weird halo. But you can get a red car in Finland. Alright, so I have one in Sweden, and that is for antenna. I know I mean, some of the antennas are helpful, I'll say that. Especially this one. So in Sweden, you can get an antenna in parts north of Stockholm, and then also a few parts down here. Not many though. Most antenna is north of Stockholm. So if it looks like this, which could be like either north or south, really, to people that are not experienced with this. But you have this antenna. Usually it's north of Stockholm, but I mean, I've seen the antenna south. I'm not super good at it, but I was playing Nordics map recently, and you do get antenna up here. Alright, so Europe doesn't have a lot. I will move on now to Asia. Let's go Western Asia first. Alright, so the Middle East, or this part of the Middle East, pretty much Israel, Jordan, I guess you could say like West Bank or Palestine. I don't really want to get into that though. There is a car meta for Jordan, and is that it has a black car here, as just like in Peru, Argentina, and Uruguay. But it can look fairly different. It can look pretty different, especially with these long plates. But in Jordan, if it looks Middle Eastern, but there's a black car, it's Jordan. Alright, so in the Middle East, going a bit further southeast, in the United Arab Emirates, most of the coverage is up here near Abu Dhabi, Dubai, but there is this one island that has a separate car meta. And it looks like this. It looks kind of different from the rest. Like that. And then you get this unblurred, huge white car with unblurred side mirrors and stuff. You don't get that part blurred out at all. Okay, moving further east, I went over Kyrgyzstan, Bangladesh. Let's go Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, it's a cool car meta. So, in Sri Lanka, you get the front, I believe, of the car has this blur, which is white, and then it has red, too. So if you see this white and red blur, it is Sri Lanka. Yeah, the front of the car. It is very subtle, but it can be very, very helpful if you can see this front of the car, which is white and red blurred. Let's go into Vietnam. So Vietnam has something a little different, and that is motorcycle coverage. So the entire official coverage of Vietnam is on a motorcycle as opposed to a car. So that's how you know you're in Vietnam. I mean, also with the language, you can tell, but motorcycle is Vietnam. Also, not a ton of parts in Vietnam are covered, like this part of Hanoi, Haiphong, along the coast, I think, and then also in Ho Chi Minh City. Those are the major two cities, Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh. Okay, moving further east, let's do South Korea. So in South Korea, like Peru, Argentina, Uruguay, and Jordan, you can get a black car in the back here. So if you see this like writing, if you don't know if this is Korean or Japanese, or like you can't see any cars, but you see this black bit, it's South Korea. I have seen, I think, not this in South Korea, but a lot of times that is South Korea, because I haven't seen that in Japan ever. Alright, so in Japan, you get this low camera. It's very low, like Switzerland, and then also a lot of times you get this white blur at the back. Yeah. So that's in Japan. Low cam. Okay, so those are all the generic-ish ones. Now I'm gonna go into the more obscure ones. So these include these little itty-bitty islands, the cities in Greenland, parts of North Canada, and like very small sections. So if you don't want to see this, then skip to the end or something. I think I'll put in timestamps for this, so you could just skip right, or just end the video. But I think you might want to keep this video bookmarked so that you can review it, because some people might want to watch it a few times. Okay, let's get into it. So I'll start with the islands. Now, the islands are important. It's important to know the metas for the islands, especially if you want to like be fluent in the islands, or not fluent, just like good. I have an island practice map, and it has 5 locations in each of these islands that are I've personally had in a diverse world and also Battle Royale before. So these are relevant islands with the car meta. And you can practice it. I will link it in the description below. Okay, finally. That took a while, but I cut that part out for you. This is what the Bermuda car looks like. Not a strong start to islands, I know, right? But here you get this black, unblurred bits. The middle is blurred, but the outsides are not. And these two black handlebars, and in the back, nothing. Also, they drive on the left in Bermuda. Okay, heading south, let's go to Puerto Rico. So in Puerto Rico, you get an antenna on the side of the car. Like this. So usually it would be in the middle, but no, it's on the side. So you can also get this in some other islands. But Puerto Rico, there's a lot more cars and bigger freeways and also Spanish all around. And then you get these kilometer markers all the time. Yeah, so antenna on the side. You can also get unblurred front or sometimes, but usually just antenna on the side is the Puerto Rico meta. Okay, moving just east of Puerto Rico are the British Virgin Islands, I believe. So on those islands, you get this car, where it's not really a car, it's a truck. So it's a white truck with a crate in the back. I call it a crate. It's just like this back thing. The inside is painted black, and there's also racks. So it has a lot of stuff on it, and that is in the British Virgin Islands, which are located over here. These two islands actually have that. Heading south, you get the American Virgin Islands, which have also a truck, but this truck is red. The back is not, well, the outside isn't white. The whole thing is probably red. But you do get these racks on top of the back of the truck. So red car, antenna, racks on the truck too, and it looks just like the British Virgin Islands pretty much. And I've seen all of these that I'm going to go over are in a diverse world. So if you know the metas, you can get a lot of points. In fact, I think one of the records for no moving, panning, or zooming, on the leaderboard is a Cocos. You'll know what I mean in a second. Okay, moving south of that is Curaçao. So it's an island, two islands actually. Well, this island's the only one that's covered, north of Venezuela. And you get this car. So the front of it is unblurred, and it's a black car, and then also these racks. And that's it. Now, something I've noticed with Curaçao is it looks very, very dry, and sometimes you can even see cacti, and these bougainvillea plants and stuff. It looks very dry for an island, but that's what it looks like with the black car and bars. Okay, I'll just staying in the Caribbean. We have these two islands, which are tiny. They're so small. There's Casa Baja and San Andreas. So on Casa Baja, you can get this car, which is like a truck, sort of a black truck with a blur that's kind of weird. And then there's this thing in the back that sometimes can be unblurred, and it's all black, and there's concrete roads and stuff. Also, if I'm not explaining super well, if you're not like learning, that's okay. If you learn better by like reading something or looking at a website, go to geotips.net. I'll put that in the description. It has all of these. This is the page, and it has all the metas. It's very, very helpful. But I'll continue with this. Okay, so that's Casa Baja. You get it's a black car. Yes. Okay, now in San Andreas, which is the island south, you get a silver car with mirrors unblurred, or a silver or white car. It looks more silver to me. Yeah, it looks basically the same, but you get the silver car, so black car, silver car. I've seen both in either, so you just kind of have to practice with the look of them. They do look very, very similar, but again, if you use the island practice map a bunch, it is very helpful, I can tell you. Okay, so moving a bit out of the Caribbean is Cocos Island National Park. It is a part of Costa Rica and is a national park, and it just looks like this. It's basically a jungle. Why is this in a car meta video? Well, because I think this is in a diverse world, and it's like a person. You can see part of the stuff that they're holding, and they just kind of walk around the island. But also, I mean, I was on the vein of island, so I just figured I might include it anyway. The foliage, these leaves right here, I think are very distinct to only this area. They look very shiny. You'll learn that with practice on the island map, which I encourage all of you to do. Unless you have already. Probably some of you have. Okay, so that is that bit. Let's move to the Pacific. Alright, so the Pitcairn Islands, Pitcairn Islands are these islands. But there's this one island called Adamstown, which is all covered, and it is a person that walks around, who presumably lives on the island. And they have this hair. Very nice hair. But you see it pretty much all over the place in Adamstown. So Adamstown, the car meta is hair meta. If you see this like grayish, brownish hair, and it looks tropical island. Next, American Samoa. So I just got this one actually in a battle royale. The video is probably out by now. You've already seen it, presumably. But in American Samoa, you get so yeah, tropical look and everything. The front of the car is blurred most of the time, but if you turn to the back, you get this unblurred back crate, unblurred black back crate. Try saying that, no, but you get this bit. This is black car. Also, it's in the southern hemisphere, so the sun will be north. Yeah, this black crate's in American Samoa. Okay, now over here to Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands. They're basically all Mariana Islands, but this one is called, I forget what that one's called. They all have names and stuff. Let's just go to the metas. Okay, in Guam, you get an antenna to the side. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Wait, hold on a second. Puerto Rico also has that. Wait, hold on a second. Puerto Rico also has that. Wait, hold on a second. Puerto Rico also has that.
Yes, it does. But in Guam, the roads are way less busy and there's way less cars. So if there's a ton of cars, either in a really weird part of Guam or Northern Mariana Islands, which also has this same antenna, or you're in Puerto Rico, which is the most likely one. Also, this is technically a part of the United States. I think it's some territory business stuff going on there, so there will be English, a lot of English, as opposed to Puerto Rico where there's a lot of Spanish. So just to show you, here's the Northern Mariana Islands. There are differences between the two, but I'll let you discover them in my island practice map. So here's the antenna on the side. Christmas Island and Cocos Islands. The Cocos Islands. Okay, so in the Christmas Islands, I don't know why it says Christmas Islands here, but there's only one. Whatever. You get this crate in the back. It's not like a truck. It's a crate. I'm not joking. It's a legit crate. And it's kind of grayish metal. But it's also very sandy. There's these very white sands. And you get this crate. Sometimes it can be very, very subtle. Here it's not, but sometimes it can be very, very subtle. However, you also get this crate on the western island of the Cocos Islands. I get Home Island, yes. And you get this crate. Here you go. So you can get this crate. It's like kind of looks like a crate. It has a different color than the other one. It sometimes is visible, sometimes is not, sometimes it's there, but it looks very, very similar to the one in Christmas Island. So I generally consider that one and Christmas Island to have the same. However, on the west island of Cocos Islands, which also has the Cocos Keeling Island Airport, there is a very, very special car meta, which is this. So the landscape generally just looks like the same, like all the other islands. It's just a bit flat. So you get this crate here, which is just like the other places, but then you get this. I don't even know what to call this. But you get it pretty much all the time on the West Island, and it is very distinct. So I went over Réunion, which is my practice map too, but there's also Madagascar, which has a number of metas, which I will go over now, because this is the complete guide to car meta. Alright, so up here in the north, well Madagascar, you have this canoe. I usually don't want to do the boat meadows for this, but it's just really distinct. There's this person on their phone, and then you have this canoe with someone rowing them. Yeah, it is a jolly good time. Now, a good thing to know is that this is on a river over here, but you can, so there's not a lot of coverage in Madagascar. So one of them is this river, and then this island too also has it, which is on another boat. There's a lot of boats up here. Also, I'm publishing this map if you want to practice. I'll put the link in the description, like a lot of times, because people should practice. Practice makes good, not perfect sometimes. Now, another part of Madagascar which is covered is down over here, near Morondava, I don't know. And you get this car. I think it's a car. There's like some people riding in the back. You have this unblurred huge rack. All the coverage in Madagascar is pretty vibey and chill. Okay, now moving south over here, on just the other side, you get this one, where there's a person. Yes. And then also, it's pretty much the same car as before, but there's more blur. Okay, now also in Madagascar, which I couldn't find, there is like horse coverage or something, like a carriage. I could not find it at all. It's somewhere. If you play the official map, you'll probably get it, but I could not find it for the life of me. I spent like a good half an hour looking around. I've never gotten it before though, so I don't really know. Also, there's car metas in Uganda, in other parts of Uganda over here, but they're pretty non-distinct. I won't go over them because I've never seen them, but if you're playing a Uganda map, I don't know, maybe I'll make a video. If you want me to make a video on the car metas in Uganda, because there's quite a few, hit me up in the comments. Okay, now it is time for the obscure ones. These ones are cool. I like these ones personally. Sometimes they're pretty funny. I'll save the best for last, if you know what I mean. Okay, so let's just get into it. Let's start south and go north. Why not? So over here in south of Newfoundland, there is Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon. So you barely get any coverage in here, but I have got this in Diverse World. So you get some coverage over here in Saint-Pierre, but you also get some coverage in Miquelon. Alright, so the Miquelon car only goes down a few streets. Apart from the car meta, it looks pretty generic East Canada, but there is this petrol something, like a jug, and then this unblurred black car thing. It's like this red chug jug. You get that in Miquelon, which is the northern city in Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon. Alright, heading north into northern Canada, there's this one, which I have, which is in the city of Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon. And you get a snowmobile, I'm pretty sure. A snowmobile coverage. Yep, you have this thing, someone riding a snowmobile. Maybe that's a graveyard, I don't know. You see the tracks here, you see the snowmobile. It isn't a diverse world, so be careful. Alright, so there's a few in northern Canada, that's one of them. Let's go to some other... What else do I have? I have some further up. So over here, in the middle of nowhere, you get this. Now, I've never seen this before, but upon my research, I saw it. And it's official coverage, and it's like an ATV. And you can see this person's helmet. It's like a GoPro footage. It's really cool. It's like a gang of people ATVing all around. I think it's awesome. Yeah, so ATV, or I don't even know if it's an ATV. This red helmet meta is in the middle of nowhere over here on Devon Island. Moving up here, I think this is the northernmost coverage ever. Yep. And you get these people hiking. It's official coverage. There's a huge glacier moving through. The sun's over there. And these people hiking, and you can see them hiking. Okay, now moving back down into Greenland, you get all these car metas. So, going north to south, like this, you have this one, this like motorcycle coverage, it's over there. Then you have further east, It's more blurred and it looks like a motorcycle. Okay, now moving down. In this city, you get 2 side mirrors on this weird vehicle. I don't even know what to call it. Moving east, you get a crate. The black crate of Greenland. So it looks like the Nook car right here. But there's this black crate, this bed in the back. That's the only thing you'll get in Greenland. Okay, moving down, we have this city, which is Hermeta again. So not Adamstown because it's snowing, but someone walking around. Yeah, Hermeta in this one. Okay, further down, you get this crazy vehicle. I don't even know what the hell this is. Something. Someone driving it with a camera attached. That crazy city, it's in that one. Okay, moving further down, we have the Nook car, which is the most basic one. Has this white with the handle mirrors, and there's no thing in the back. Okay, moving further down, you have this one, which looks like a car, but like with a really weird blur over there. Okay, we have this one, which looks like hair, but there's like a crate or something. Maybe it's like a bike coverage. Not too sure. Again, go to GeoTips if you want to do this, because it has all the metas. We have this city, which is a red car. We have this city, which is a black car with a side antenna. We have this city, which is Trekker? No. Snowmobile? Green snowmobile in Greenland. Fitting. And we have over here, which is the most green section of Greenland, but it's still cold as heck. So, yep, you have this person all bundled up with a red cap and an orange bag there. And then you have someone else, maybe it's the same person, I don't know, driving over here on their motorcycle or something. Okay, and then going back up here, we have over here, we have this car, which has a weird blur on the side. And then we have this one, which is a red car, second red car in Greenland. And then going further up, we have a few in this city. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. So we have we have this one. I know I said I wouldn't do boats, but this is just so distinct. There's just this guy here has some awesome facial expressions. I really like it. It's this very distinct guy. The face is not even blurred out at all. I love it. Okay, and then we have further inland in the town, we have this, which is like a bike with a wooden box in the front. They have a lot of those in Greenland, I think. Alright, those are all the Greenland ones. Very quickly, go play a Greenland map right now if you're interested in getting these card metas, because that's going to take way too long for me to teach you. Okay. So that's most of them. That's pretty much all the card metas that I'll use. Ever. Or a lot of people use them. I mean, there are the antenna ones, but again, I don't really use the antenna ones. But I have one last one for you. And this is for everyone that stayed to the end of the video. So, in Mongolia, there is a lot of lakes, but there is this one lake that is called Kovskol. There is an ice festival on the lake that happens every year. Annual ice festival, and people drive in from all over and get in the car and park right here and go to the ice festival. Now you may be thinking, how does this have to do with any car meta? Well, it's because someone during the ice festival, while riding their horses or yaks on a sled on the frozen lake, decided to take Google coverage. And this is in Battle Royale. And this is the best car meta ever. As you can see, the people driving in from the festival, there's a ton of coverage all over here. And you get these people riding on a sled pulled by a yak of some sort with this. It's just amazing. It's amazing. And there's like 7 people riding over here. There's like a dog or something. I don't know. It's an ice sled. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, that's all the car metas. That's it. I won't go any further because this is already a long video. I'll timestamp everything so that you can navigate easily. Here's GeoTips website. It has all the car metas, including the ones that I didn't have, like the the antennas. So if you're interested about this, go check it out. It's really cool. Also, join my Discord server if you want, and follow me on Spotify and stuff. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions or videos, comment them down below. And subscribe if you want. I don't really care. I'm not going to tell you what to do. And yeah, bye.